What's up guys, and welcome to this video where I'm showing a color pencil drawing that I've been working on. This drawing is going to take me a pretty long time, so I thought I'd do little weekly or bi-weekly videos of my progress. I started with the lightest gray that's in this section, and then as I went I started to use darker and darker colors. I also had to go back with the mechanical pencil lots of times to include some more of the details. This piece of equipment was pretty challenging to draw because I've never used color pencils to try to capture this level of detail before. In total, coloring in this section took me about 5.5 hours. I find it helpful to break these drawings down into smaller, more manageable sections so they're not quite so overwhelming. So instead of just gradually going through darker and darker colors as you would typically do when layering or burnishing, I also blocked in some of the darker color values to sort of break up the drawing a little bit and help me lay out where different colors were going to be. Sort of jumping into some of the darker areas earlier on than maybe is typical for color pencil drawings did cause me to start applying more pressure a little earlier in some areas. Color pencils I'm using for this drawing are Bruinzeel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They're a company out of Holland. Specifically, I'm using their Expression series. To do my burnishing here, I usually started with a light color, like a lightest gray that would be in that each individual section, and then gradually use darker and darker colors when I felt that it needed a little more shadow. One technique that I use here, and I'll be practicing more throughout this drawing, is to use a blade or a razor to score a thin line, and then when you color in that section, the lead won't get into that crease and it'll leave a nice fine white line to show some reflected light. To be honest, it would have come in helpful in a lot of other sections in this drawing, but I didn't think to use it until I kind of got into this piece. I did sometimes use white for burnishing, but I find a light gray on a piece of metal like this was giving a little more of a realistic and less foggy result. Burnishing with white can tend to make it look cloudy or sort of hazy. I started with this section because I think it's going to be the most challenging part of this whole drawing, aside from maybe the face, where I haven't done a lot of faces with color pencils, but detail wise I thought it was going to be really hard to fit all the details that I wanted to into this small piece of equipment, but I think it turned out all right. I'm happy with it, and looking forward to moving on to the rest of the bow. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments.